Many businesses are excited to wipe the slate clean and forget about 2009. Here to discuss just how CEOs plan to get their companies started off on the right foot in 2010, they're going to be following their New Year's resolutions. Dr. Todd Thomas is here, the CEO and founder of Impact Consulting and Development. Todd, great of you to be here. So who did you talk to in this survey, and are they looking at the next year as a real opportunity for them?
Yes, well, first, good morning, Dagan. I appreciate the opportunity here. Yeah, I work with leaders in a general sense of development and dealing with change and transition. And 2009 was a challenging year. So what I was interested in was actually the question you just asked, which is, how do they see 2010? What I was excited about was that most of the leaders that I spoke to, and I spoke to CEOs of large and small companies as well, is that they really see 2010 as a time of opportunity and a time to regroup, maybe reprioritize a little, but truly an exciting time ahead.
What does regroup and reprioritize mean? Again, because one serious concern among, all the CEOs and financial chiefs I've talked to is they've cut costs to the bone and asked their workers to do a lot more for the company. Now they're worried about if the job market improves, those good workers leaving.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of CEOs are realizing that there are two sides to that balance sheet. When you talk about regrouping and reprioritizing, for example, those who responded to my question said, we've had to do a lot of things that are painful to our employees, but also to our customers, to our community. It's time that we, try to set that straight. And so I think we're going to see in 2010, at least in the mass of leaders that I spoke with, that they're really going to try to reconnect. Employees are willing to participate. They just want to feel like they're part of the game. And I think CEOs know that. And they recognize it's not all about cost cutting.
Todd, one other resolution was to be more in touch, not with just their employees, but also the community. Was it not?
Absolutely. A few months ago, I wrote a paper on developing leaders through corporate responsibility. What I found in this particular survey was that particular approach has become almost obsolete. Now CEOs are saying it's time to look around. As hard as they've had it, as their companies have had it, they've seen their communities have also taken a beating. And so a lot are looking for ways to reach out, either through volunteering or through providing support for community activities, not just from a PR standpoint, but from truly a sense of moral obligation. And I think that, starts to refocus us on the important things when it comes to business.
Todd, in the new year, do CEOs hope that Washington just butts out of their business?
We talk an awful lot about CEOs, and typically we're talking about that top, 5% or so, those large companies. We forget that, 99% of our businesses in the U.S. are small businesses. Most of those leaders, they are concerned about Washington, they're concerned about what happens, but really they're focused on their own business. I don't think they're as concerned as we like to think, or we like to talk about in the media. I think they would like some support, and at the same time would like to be left alone to do their work. But I think we talk a lot more about it than most leaders really take time to worry about.
I'll beg to differ with that, because every CEO and CFO I've talked to in the last 6 months is worried about Washington, but that argument will be left for another day. Todd, thank you. Happy New Year. Todd Thomas, CEO of Impact Consulting and Development.